The Great Dismal Swamp is a vast, ancient, and eerie wetland located in the coastal plain region of southeastern Virginia and northeastern North Carolina. The swamp is filled with tall, twisted trees that create a terrifying sight, growing on both sides of the stagnant, dark waters. The dry leaves, tangled branches, and massive roots add to the unsettling atmosphere. If you stand in the middle of the swamp, you'll hear strange birds crying out as if they're weeping, and all you'll see before your eyes is deep green wilderness, wild, untamed, and dangerous. At the very heart of the swamp lies a small, murky lake called Lake Drummond, named after William Drummond, the man who dared to explore the swamp with a group of hunters. Unfortunately, Drummond was the only one who returned alive from that cursed expedition. He crawled back, his clothes tattered and covered in filth, nearly starving to death and driven to the brink of madness from the horrors he had seen. He muttered incoherent words about strange forces that dwelled within the swamp. But let me tell you exactly where the terrifying legend of this swamp began. It all started with two lovers, a young man and woman who were about to get married. Just days before their wedding, the woman decided to take a walk near the swamp's lakes. The problem was, she never returned. Weeks passed, and despite relentless searching, no trace of her was ever found. People eventually gave up, accepting that she must have died. But her fiancé remained faithful to her, refusing to believe she was gone. He insisted she was still alive but lost somewhere in the swamp. Then, he heard a chilling story from a local villager. Someone claimed to have seen the ghost of a woman in a white dress wandering through the swamp. That was all he needed to hear. He resumed his search, combing through the swamp from morning until night, desperately looking for his lost love. One fateful night, he entered the swamp again, and never came back. The villagers launched another search, this time for him, but after weeks of searching, he was never found either. Over the years, hunters and explorers reported sightings of a ghostly woman in a long white dress, walking through the swamp at night, carrying a small lantern that glowed with fire. One hunter claimed he had been delayed inside the swamp one night and saw not just one ghost, but two. As they moved closer, he noticed their unusual clothing, a young man and woman. The woman wore a long white dress, while the man held a fishing rod. As they approached him and realized he could see them, they suddenly vanished into thin air. Another hunter then stepped forward with a similar story, though he had been too afraid to share it before. He had been in the swamp late at night when he saw a woman in a long white dress walking along the shore. As he got closer, he noticed her staring at him in a chilling, unsettling way. He hurried past her, trying to ignore it, but his curiosity got the better of him. When he turned around to look at her again, she was gone, leaving no trace behind. As for William Drummond, he eventually died, driven insane by the fear of what he had witnessed. But the real question is, what exactly did he see that terrified him so much it shattered his sanity? And the bigger question, how did he survive, and what happened to the rest of his expedition? To this day, there are still reports of people vanishing within the swamp. Despite thorough searches and investigations, the missing are never found. So, do you have the courage to enter, and come back to tell us what you saw? Like, subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon to never miss a scare.